came here. So, what made you come to LSU? What was the mutual kind of talk there?
Yeah, I think I had a lot of conversation with Coach Davis and Coach Sloan on the way in, and a lot of the conversations were just surrounded about what the ultimate goal was for this season. And I looked at what they were doing in the off season, and it looked like they were building something really special here. And since I was a kid, it was my dream to win a national championship. And so, that opportunity to chase a national championship is everything. And when they had that conversation with me, and I talked to Nuss. Nuss was a big part of the recruitment process for me, and we became really close in that process. And it was really exciting opportunity for me.
There is kind of a free agency season now, so you notice who's getting players and who's not, and who's the winner to join and who's not. Is that kind of thing?
I suppose. I mean, I think it was somewhat about the guys that they were bringing in, but it was also about the conversations we had about the culture. I think a lot of what we talked about was how important it was to win this year. And, with that, it was a very prominent aspect of the process. Like when we were bringing guys in and I was having those conversations with Sloan and Davis, it was just, it was something that I wanted to be a part of.
Was the heat the biggest adjustment for you?
Gosh, it was rough. It was a rough first couple months. Like I said, I've never lived in the South, and up north you're looking at 75 and sunny this time of year, and it's pretty. But down here, you got to grind through it a little bit. And I will say you're better for it. Going into the season, you get in great shape, and there's that adversity of the elements that can really toughen you up.
You drop any weight since you came down, or the heat?
Not much.
No?
Yeah.
Josh, can you talk a little bit about this offensive line? Including yourself, a bunch of fresh faces all coming together, trying to make it mesh in a top 10 matchup, and you do just that.
Yeah.
What does it do for your confidence with this group, whether it's the five that we saw lined up this past weekend or any of the guys that may rotate in and out? What does that kind of do moving into the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean, it started off, one of the biggest focal points for us coming into the season was to, grow our unity, right? It's a bunch of new faces, and to be a good offensive line, you have to be a tight unit. And that was something that we really, really wanted to focus on because, like I said, it was a bunch of new faces. So we made sure to spend a lot of time together, do things outside of the facility, and that was really big for us. And I'll say, like, one of the coolest things, especially after playing a lot of football and being able to see the big picture of it all, is seeing how much we were able to grow in that offseason. Not just, from a relationship standpoint, but in how we played. Like, you can see the difference from spring to now of what guys are doing and the talent that we have in that room. And I'm proud to be a part of it. I'm proud of what we've been able to do.
What do you think is the biggest thing from these new groups of guys around you or the coaching staff? Do you feel like you've kind of learned already leading into the season that you feel like you could grab upon and kind of help you get even better moving into the rest of you before you get to conference play?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that we've been able to do is get rid of that idea of satisfaction, right? Like, you can appreciate the good things that you did, but you can't stick on them, right? It's on to the things that you need to fix, and that constant grasp for knowledge and that constant grasp for getting better in technique or whatever the case may be, and understanding concepts. It's just, I think our consistent aptitude for growth is something that I've really took to, and a lot of guys took to, and that's something we're going to continue to do, and why I think we're going to get a lot better as the season continues.
What kind of job does Braylon do? Kind of setting the tone up front at center.
I mean, Braylon, not only is he a phenomenal football player, but he's been really, really great vocally. When that became a focal point, for that center position, he's a commander on the field, and he's doing a really, really good job at it. And I think he's what you ask your centers to do. He's a great player.
What is it about Brad Davis? A lot of people, praise him as a coach. What are the things that you see that they're coming through?
I think Coach Davis is great at getting the best out of you. I think there's zero room for complacency, and there's zero room for sitting at that same level. Like, he is constantly pushing you to be your best self. He's creating adversity for you in practice. You're tired, and like I said, I mean, I have become a better football player for it, and I think that's a noticeable, tangible thing that I can latch onto and appreciate him for.
And the 1-0 mantra, maybe some of us thought that it was all about the season opener because they hadn't won one in a long time, 1-0.
Yeah.
But it looks like this is a week-to-week thing. Louisiana Tech's the only team we see on that wall, as opposed to we used to see all 12 of them up there, right? Just what's that like?
To go in, I mean, our opponents are nameless and they're faceless. We're focused on us and our process, and we are great. Or it was great to start the season 1-0, but we're on a lot Tech. Our goal is to go 1-0 this week, and that's our focus is on us, and we're going to this game with that same mentality as last week.